Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live event. It is February 17th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a special guest today, and thank you to the 95 people who are attending via LinkedIn. There's others on Facebook and others on, Instagram. There we go. Thank you very much. Again, we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram all at once for this live event. Today's episode is called Awaken Your Inner Wisdom, the Secret to Living with Purpose with Dr. Delphina JOYce or Joy. Avila, let's bring her aboard. Dr. Avila, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hello, friends. Can't see you, but I feel you. It is good to be here.
Thank you so much for your time and energy and experience you're about to share upon us. Please, let's start off with the $1 million question. Please share your journey on how you discovered your inner wisdom in living with your purpose. But before you do that, tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Perkins, for giving me this opportunity to come and share. I have been on this journey, like many of you, learning about myself. And I really probably started learning more about myself when I went through the journey of cancer. And prior to that, I had already been tapping into my intuition, tapping into what it was that I was hearing within myself. And I have a strong sense of faith. But it was in my journey with an illness that I really learned to quiet my voice, to quiet the noise that was happening within my head, because there were so many things outside of me that I couldn't control. And because I couldn't control them, it allowed me to really just learn and grow as a human.
How about you, though? In addition to that, what do you do? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm Dr. Delphina JOYce, messenger of joy. Joy means journey, options, you choose. I received my calling back in about 2006 when I learned what my name meant. My name, Delphina, comes from the Oracle of Delphi, where divine messages were delivered. And JOYce means joy. So my name means messenger of joy. And my calling is messenger of joy. And it was through that experience of the cancer that I learned what joy really means. And that's how I learned about inner wisdom. That's how I learned how to listen to what my inner voice was saying. So who I am is Delphina JOYce, messenger of joy. And what I'm doing is teaching people about their free will, about their personal agency, about who they are in their greatness. And that's what I do. That's my calling.
Thank you for sharing all that. That is perfect for leaders, really finding that inner wisdom. It's not all about being a task-oriented leader, or what's beautiful is servant leader. Yeah, you want to be part of your leadership as being a servant leader or a transformational leader or the mix of those two things. But before we can begin being a strong leader, mind and body have to be at 100%. And part of that, a big part of that is your inner wisdom. So how would you describe that inner wisdom? Is there a definition you prescribe to? What is inner wisdom?
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate you noting that, Dr. Perkins, because leadership starts with oneself. We have to learn how to be a self leader before we can lead others. And by doing that, we need to be in alignment. And I say spirit, mind, emotion, and body. And I believe that it's holistic. And it does start with oneself. It starts with caring for ourselves, because just like I'm sure that many of you have heard that, when you're on an airplane and you're in a crisis mode, you've got to give yourself oxygen. As a leader, if you don't take care of yourself and you're exhausted and you can't think right, or you're operating consistently with high levels of cortisol, your body is not operating at its best. And so inner wisdom has to do with that. It has to do with self-love, self-compassion, taking care of yourself, that you are a self-leader first. First, you're leading yourself before you can be a servant leader to others. And so what you asked was, how can one do that? Is that what your
I
question
love
was?
that. First, you're leading yourself before you're a servant leader for others. Did you hear that, audience? Did you get that? Because a lot of you out there, I'm concerned for you. And that's why I'm being a little firm right now. You're chasing the devil's dollar. I get it. We all need a little bit of money, but how much is too much where we're greedy, we're stressed out? Take care of yourself. I'm sorry, Dr. Avila. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, that was okay. What I was saying was, you asked how. How? So I remember when I was a leader at a school site and I was the administrator, and I remember getting to my school. My sister used to give me trouble. My sister worked for the city of Phoenix. She still does, but she would say, "Sister, I go to work and your car is already there. And I come home from work and your car is still there." And as an administrator, when I was an administrator, I wanted to be the first one on campus because I wanted to walk the grounds. I wanted to see, is there graffiti? Is there anything dangerous? Like, I wanted to be the first one there. And normally I was there with the custodial staff, and we would walk the site together. And then at the end of the day, I liked to have that time to decompress and also do the office stuff that you don't have time to do because you are visual. You got to be out there and in front of people and things like that. So it is more than crucial. It's essential that you take care of yourself. And that means that you step away. You must step away from all that is happening. And you know what's really important, Dr. Perkins, is you check your ego. You check your ego, because if you think that that system cannot run without you, that's pride. That's ego. Because if you are a great leader, you train the system to operate without you. You create systems and operational procedures so that when you have an emergency or you are called to a meeting at the district office or whatever it is, that your staff can hold down the fort whether you are there or not, because as a leader that's efficient and effective, you've created those types of systems. What does that have to do with your own inner wisdom? It means you have to learn how to operate at a high level on your own. You have to feed yourself well. You have to do exercises. And I say have to, but really what I mean is it's a choice. It's a choice.
Excellent words. Excellent words. Did you hear that, folks? Having systems in place. So if you're out sick, if you're out at a meeting or a conference, if unfortunately you pass away, the school can continue, the organization can continue to operate. Having those systems in place and working all those hours unhealthy, just like you schedule time within your workday to do certain things to move the organization forward, to move people forward, your community, your stakeholders forward. You have to schedule in time for you. For an example, I know administrators, leaders who say, you know what, at X time in the morning, maybe it's 10. I tell my secretary, this is my golden time or whatever time you want to call it. And I go in my office, I turn the lights off and I sit down, lay down for 20 minutes, whatever that time is. It's 15 minutes. And I just get me time, just relax, lights off, maybe some nice classical music or whatever music you enjoy, and just chill, get the mind and body right. It's kind of a form of a meditation. So I love your words. How would you describe, you just did that. Can you walk us through a moment in your life where trusting your inner wisdom led you to a significant change or breakthrough?
I have a lot of those, but this one, I want to preface it with change is good. Change is good. So I was in a situation, and in this situation, I was operating with a title and I had a job description and a role. And with time, I realized that the work that I was doing was really above and beyond that scope. So in other words, I had a title of a coordinator, but I was operating at a director 2 level. And I spent time analyzing, because this was my gut. This was my intuition. I was like, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. But you can't just go off of your gut. Your inner wisdom will tell you. But I also looked at data and I analyzed job descriptions. And when I analyzed job descriptions of other level 2s, I realized that in the role and the description, that description was operating with all kinds of tasks that were a level 2, a director 2, right? And so I went to the higher ups and I presented information, and then I let it go, and I waited. And I didn't do anything else about it. I literally sent the documentation, and I loved my job. I loved my job. I loved what I was doing, and I let it go. Well, a month passed and I hadn't heard anything. Zero, silence. And all of a sudden, I got this inner feeling of it's time to follow up now. A month. I didn't do anything for a whole month. And I heard it's time to follow up. And so I followed up. I followed up with an email. Hi, just checking in to see if there's any conversation, any other documentation needed, anything that we need to talk about, because I had an ask. And my ask was to have a reevaluation of the role and the title to see if there were any adjustments needed. And the response that I received at that time was literally in passing. There wasn't a written email. It was a passing. And the passing was, oh yeah, we talked about that a long time ago. We're not doing anything. The reason that I say that change is good is because I had already known prior to that a change was happening. And the change was, do I value and honor myself enough to take a leap of faith? Because it was time for a change. I had outgrown that role. I had outgrown that system, and I was looking for an adjustment. But no one outside of me was going to make the adjustment for me. And I had to look inside and say, do I believe that I have the skills, the strategies, and the knowledge to take a leap? And I did. And when I took that leap, it was a leap of faith. I ended up moving into a way, way better situation. But it was scary. It was scary because I was like, am I good enough? Can I handle more? Well, I was already operating on more. All I was doing was questioning my self-worth, my knowledge, my skills, and what I knew. And that happens to a lot of us. That's called impostor syndrome.
Former President Barack Obama does a good little piece on that imposter syndrome piece. He goes, when I became president and I started sitting at the table of all these powerful people, and basically he said, a lot of them, they're not smart. He was saying to himself, you over there, the way you're speaking and acting, you run a country, you're leading people. Mm-hmm. And then, he would say, so to the people, when you sit at the table, know you belong at the table. Yes. Know you belong at the table, and be at the table and be professional, have your facts, have your evidence, have your data, speak well, be classy. You didn't see him getting into any trouble, or any controversies. He always spoke well, presented himself well, represented the United States well, and that's leadership. All those traits, and knowing when you're at the table, you belong. And there's going to be people at the table who went through the same thing you did, and half of them don't belong, but you belong. So I love that analogy there.
I appreciate that you say that. And I want to add a little bit to this because we are talking about inner wisdom. And I will be forthright with you, and I will be transparent with you. Do not throw your pearls to swines. There are tables that you may not want to eat at, and that is okay. Diplomacy is very important. It's crucial. It shows you're educated. It shows that you are willing to handle situations in different manners. There's no reason to act crazy or ridiculous. You can always show up in love and in light. But there will be situations that you do not need to partake of the food. You do not need to take part in the table. It is what it is, and that's okay. Because as an individual, joy, journey, options, you choose. It is about your free will, your personal agency. And we forget that. We get stuck in the rat race. We get stuck in the chaos, and we forget that we have power. And we do. We have power.
Great advice. Great advice. There's a saying out there: in your 20s, you care about what people think. In your 40s, you stop caring. And then in your 60s, you realize no one was thinking about you to begin with. Do your thing, be positive, be productive, be at the table. Again, be smart at the table.
Yeah.
Are there any specific practices or habits that you found helpful in cultivating your inner wisdom on a daily basis?
Absolutely. I start every morning before my feet even hit the floor. I say, today is the best day of my life, and every moment is getting better. I start my day knowing that every moment is getting better. That includes Monday mornings when I may not feel like getting out of bed. I've already set my mind to know that today is a new day. There's a new canvas. I get to choose how I'm going to show up. I get to choose what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do that. Because in our everyday, we always have tasks that we have to do, right? But we can show off grouchy. We can show up angry. We can show up so sad. But we can choose how we're going to show up. And you know what, Dr. Perkins? We have the power to increase our vibration. We have the power to change our energy. Do you know that if you literally do a couple jumping jacks, that you automatically are moving your cells and you are creating more vibration in your body? Sometimes we have to do that because we are down low. It happens. Sometimes we have not eaten. And if we do not eat, our sugar levels can go down. We've got to get some food in our system. So I say, start off with a positive mindset. For me, I call it the joy mindset. And the joy mindset is journey, options, you choose. Recognize that you have power and that you are in charge of your life. Two, I am a very strong advocate of faith. I have a strong faith. I believe in my Heavenly Father, who is my creator, and I pray and I listen. I quiet my mind so that I can hear. I do my study. That is me personally. So spirit, mind, body, emotion. Take care of those areas, and only you know what works best for you. Why? Because we're all different learners. Some of us see things and we get it. Some of us hear things and we get it. Some of us have to touch things to get it. We all operate different. That's what's so beautiful about being a human, is that we're unique and special and perfectly divinely created and equipped for our calling and our purpose.
Can meditation, journaling, or mindfulness be helpful in this process? If so, how?
Okay. Well, let's start with journaling. So when you journal, you're giving your mind the opportunity to take thoughts and place them on a paper. Now, this is a really cool activity. If you are right-handed, write a question that you would like an answer to, and then use your left hand to actually answer it. Now, your handwriting might not be the best, but keep writing, because what you're doing is you're engaging the right and the left hemisphere. and your mind will work with your body and begin to give you answers. Test it out, my friends. Test it out. Write your question that you would like answered. Then use your opposite hand to write the answer. Now, quiet your mind. If that means you close your eyes and you just say, talk to me, self, allow yourself to do that. Okay, so journaling takes thoughts that could be at a subconscious level to bring it to a conscious level onto an imprint. Okay, you also talked about meditation. Meditation is wonderful. So in our world, we have thousands of data points coming to us. Right in this second, there's so many things coming in through my eyes, through my ears, through my nose. There's just all kinds of things coming in, and it's fast and it's rapid. When a person goes into a moment of meditation, they are training their mind to be present in the moment. So how many of you have ever gone to work, you're on the phone, you're driving, you get to work, and you don't even know how you got there? You're operating on autopilot, which happens often. When you meditate, you train your mind to slow down and to be present in the moment, and your mind will also begin to give you answers. So I have another thing that is beneficial. If you are percolating on something, you can ask yourself a question, and then you tell yourself, answer this in a dream. Answer this, and you go to sleep. Forget about it. Relax. Sleep. Your mind will keep operating, and you could come up with an answer. I've answered many questions in my dreams, and I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I have this amazing idea for writing. I don't even know where it came from, but my brain heard something the day before, and then in the morning I woke up and I had this idea. I just wrote a whole blog on settling, conformity, and I don't know, it was like 3 things that happened to us. And I got it in the morning. I woke up and that was something I was going to write about. So journaling, meditation, important. You said one other thing. What was that? I can't remember.
Meditation, journaling, and mindfulness.
Mm-hmm. So mindfulness is in essence being present in the moment. So there's mindful eating, mindful walking. It's being present in the moment. So an example was I went to dinner with my kids yesterday, and my daughter reached out and she's like, Mom, you didn't send any pictures. And I said, I know, I'm so sorry. I wanted to be present, so present with my children during that dinner that I forgot to take out my phone and take a picture and send it to my daughter who was present. And I was like,
not doing that.
It was like, I'm sorry, Miha. I was so present, like engaged in the conversation, and it was all, that was me being present, which meant I didn't even have my phone out.
Did you hear that, audience? Throw away your phone. Throw it in the garbage, please. I was just at a jacuzzi and yesterday, and there was a young couple there. You can tell they were together. They came together. And the entire time at the jacuzzi, they were on their phones, both separately. And I'm like, wow, shouldn't you be enjoying each other? You know, like kind of sitting next to each other, talking about the day, talking about the future. What is it with this phone baloney that people are just addicted to it? I heard something recently that said social media and phones are kind of, you're reactive all day because you're following social media. You're following your phone. Instead, put it away and you dictate your day. You, not the phone, not social media. So world, I think the world just got caught up in a lot of stuff, and they're not wise enough to pull themselves out of it. And that's why I do things like this to help them, give them some learning nuggets to get on the right path, to do the right things, to have integrity, and so forth and so on. We're here with Dr. Avila. We're talking about inner wisdom, and she's given us a lot of tips and strategies and keys to help us out as people, as leaders. So we thank her for her time. Any comments you have, please. We want comments. Now, I'm kind of upset with my audience because I know my audience follows social media, and with a cat when a cat falls off a fence on another video, they got 20 million views and 20 million comments. I want some comments. I'm giving you life advice. Dr. Avila is giving you life advice. Put in some damn comments, folks. Come on. Do I need a cat behind me falling off a fence? What do I need to do? Give me some comments. I tell you. How does awakening? Go ahead.
I would say, one of the things that I really appreciate when I do classes and I have the blessing of working with other leaders and educators. And one thing that I love is when someone has the courage to put a scenario out there and I say, there's two things it's called, la comunidad de cariño, the community of love, and the community of being brave. Now, it takes courage to put something out on the table that everybody's going to know about, because some people might judge and be like, oh, that's an easy one. The point that I'm making is that we all got chaos in our life, and you can be encouraged and uplifted with other people's wisdom. We have not all lived every moment in the world, but we have connection with people, and people have other life experiences that we can learn from. And we don't have to touch the hot pan. At least I don't have to touch the hot pan. All I need to do is call up another leader and no, I've never dealt with that. But coming together and synergizing, we're going to come up with an idea. And that's what makes us wiser. That's what helps us to grow our inner wisdom.
Well said. Other people who are doing positive, productive things, who are intelligent, who are researching, who are bring you experience, latch onto them. If you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room. So utilize other people. Don't be intimidated by them, and welcome them into your life, and network and communicate and stay in touch and bounce things off of each other. You can learn both ways. You can teach them stuff. They can teach you stuff. Do you believe?
I want to share something real quick too.
Okay.
So how many of you know that if an apple goes bad, everything else, all the other fruits in that basket will go bad? When we talk about surrounding ourselves, when Dr. Perkins talks about surrounding ourselves, think about that. If you are engaging with individuals who are grouchy all the time, who are negative all the time, you can bet that your energy can get zapped. There is something called an energy vampire. How many of you have those friends that will call you up and to me, I say they vomit on you. They literally just throw all of these problems out, no solutions. And I'm not saying that it is not good to have a listening ear. What I am saying is that you have to know yourself well enough to know that who you engage with does create an energetic imprint on you. And if you are consistently with people who are negative, then you can bet that you will have a negative piece because you're getting poured in with negativity. So it's the same thing. If you are operating with people that are problem solvers, innovative, creative, and you may feel like, oh my gosh, I don't come up with all these great ideas. That's awesome, because you're surrounding yourself with people who do, and you will move to that. You will rise to that.
Well said. The psychology research has a concept called the law of the group. So who you hang with, you become. If you hang with gossipers, you become gossipers. You hang with negative people, you become negative. You hang with successful people, you become successful. And I always use this with kids. If you hang with you become, and that's so true. There's tons of research out there that proves that. How does awakening your inner wisdom impact the way you connect with others in the world around you?
I love that question. So I would say people can feel who you are. because there's something called quantum physics. If we show up and we trust ourselves, the actionable behaviors that we will demonstrate are self-love, self-compassion, boundaries, being okay with saying no. We can't do everything. And people will know that about you. If you walk in integrity, people will know that. They will sense that. I don't think we give enough attention to people's ability to read the room, read people without you really saying anything. We pick up on body language and we never really talk about it, but we pick it up. And you can actually hone in on that skill. So how does inner wisdom show up outside of you? People can tell if you trust yourself. People can tell if you are confident. People can tell if you are lying. If you legitimately learn to trust yourself, and your yes means yes, and your no means no, and you are not consistently bending who you are in your integrity, then you will show up stronger. So if you say, I get up, I make my bed, and then you don't ever keep your word to yourself, you're letting yourself down and you'll let other people down. So self-leadership results in stronger inner wisdom because we keep our word to ourselves first. And that's probably the hardest thing to do. Self-love, self-compassion, keeping our word to ourselves. It's so easy to not keep our word to ourselves. Oh, I'll just, I'll do it later. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. And all we're doing is letting down ourselves. All we're doing is training ourselves to not keep our word to ourselves. And then we stop trusting ourselves. And when we don't trust ourselves, then our inner wisdom decreases. That is the key. Keep your word to yourself. If you say that you're going to do something, your yes means yes, your no means no. Are there times when there's emergencies and there's changes? Absolutely. But the general rule, and I don't like to shit on people, but the general rule is mean what you say what you mean.
A lot of people are struggling with that integrity factor, being real, being themselves. A lot of fakeness going on out there. I don't know why people are selling themselves out like that. That's disappointing. I love the words you're saying, and hopefully, audience, you're taking notes. You're grabbing these learning nuggets, and tomorrow, within 24 hours, you're implementing one or two of these things, and then next month, another one or two. Just really build them into your daily practices, making you a better person, making yourself a better person.
I think people are afraid. People are afraid of being authentic. People are afraid, like, if I wear my big gold earrings, people are going to think I'm too Latina. If I wear my red lips, people are going to think I'm too loud. If I smile and I laugh, I'm not educated enough. Or what happens if, I use my strong voice? So people are afraid of being who they truly are. We refine, we mature, we grow, we evolve. That is natural. But who we are is amazing. Learn who you are. Be your authentic, true self. I don't know. And we're not talking about not understanding situational leadership because, you're not going to go to a school district situation in your Saturday night, cute kind of whatever. I don't know. Like there's appropriateness. However, we get afraid of using our voice for good. We get afraid of being authentic. And I should be saying like I, because, I say we because I say like we are one in a wholeness, right? But really, if I'm talking about joy, it's I. I am afraid to show up who I am. I am. And you learn to use your eyes and to adjust them. If I say I am afraid, or if I'm saying you are afraid, that's a reflection. There must be something inside of me that I need to work on. Right? So I think that people are afraid of being their authentic, true self for whatever reason.
Well, hopefully these words tonight can help them start out at the gates of being themselves. Remember what I said before. In your 20s, you think people are watching and listening and judging you. In your 40s, you kind of figure out, no, not really. In your 60s, you're so damn mature, you say, you know what? No one was thinking about me to begin with. And that is true all the way through life. Be a positive you, don't be a negative you, because people don't like that. You're not going to get far. Be a positive you, do your thing. And guess what? If you're in the right environment, people will accept you. People will love you, care for you, respect you. If you're in the wrong environment, yeah, people will push back. Then you have to take that leap of faith and go elsewhere so people will accept the authentic, the genuine you. So great, great words. That's how people can help themselves out of the gate. And that was one of my next questions. How do people get started? And you seem to have answered that question of taking that step, that leap of faith, and just do it. Like Nike says, that's the motto. That's their tagline. I think that's the best tagline of all time, because if you use the words do it, it doesn't mean much. But if you add the word just, it's so significant. Just do it.
Yes.
Take a step. You don't have a goal or aspiration in front of you. Just keep moving forward. Eventually that clarity will come. It will. And the man upstairs, I'm telling you, he will reward you. He will reward you because he likes people who are trying their best, giving that effort, putting themselves out there, being positive and productive. So a lot of great nuggets tonight. Last couple of questions. I really appreciate your time. Again, audience, give me a comment. Do I need a cat falling off the fence? Do I need a cat falling off the fence right now?
I do want to tap into something that you said, Anthony. And you said, show up as your best self. But I also think we have to be willing to learn and grow. When I first decided like I wanted to be healthy, it wasn't easy. Learning about food, micro, macro, all that stuff, like I had to actually study. I had to learn about that. And so we show up as our authentic self, and we also allow the grace and the grit to grow. And that means that we learn, where are there areas in my life where I can be better, I can do better, and I can show up as my best, and my best will continue to evolve. And that can dive into your passions. Like sometimes we don't even know the things that we love to do, the things that we enjoy. And by asking ourselves questions and doing self-reflection, we allow ourselves to grow more authentically because we are willing to step out of our comfort zone.
Well said. Showing up as your best self to learn, to listen, to observe others who are doing positive things. Maybe they're practicing their faith. Maybe they're practicing getting better health. Maybe they're practicing getting back on track with their finances. Maybe they're trying to volunteer and serve more.
Maybe they're doing a career change.
Maybe they're doing a career change. Maybe they're rebounding like you from your Achilles tendon, and you have to make some adjustments. Driving, walking, attending events. How do you do all that? And having a positive attitude about it. It's a setback, but it's a set up for your future.
Love it. Love it. Set up for your future.
Yep. Sit back is a set up for your future. And sometimes, like a bow and arrow, you got to pull that bow back and release so that arrow can move forward. You got to go backwards sometimes to go forwards. And I've been there. You've been there. Others listening to this have been there and could preach to the moon to say, hey, going through it sucks, but at the other end, it's so much better. It's so much better. Last question.
I want to say, and being able to take that struggle, that setback, whatever it is, being able to identify the blessing in it. So I want to share an experience that happened to me. I was working for a school district. I thought it was going to be my home forever. I was doing awesome work. I mean, I was a great employee. I was a great leader. And they decided that they were going to make some changes. And when they were making those changes, I had an individual that was at a high level come to me and say, hey, I just want you to know that we're making some changes, but we have a position for you, and it is a leadership position. We just don't know what it is yet because we're getting people on the bus and we're moving people around. Well, in that moment, I was like, wait a minute. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, right? They're an organization. They have that power. And I, as an employee, will do wherever I'm placed. And I had to make a decision because I received a pink slip. But my pink slip said on the back end, like, don't worry, it's a pink slip, but really, and I had to like, okay, do I want to trust this or what do I want to do? And what I ended up doing was saying, I think I'm ready for a change. And I took that leap of faith for the change. So even though I got that pink slip, and I was being reorganized. And I was being reorganized, being told that I had a leadership position. There was still this sense of like, what does that mean? And I could have either operated with patience and trust that they would keep their word and put me in leadership, but I didn't know what that meant. Or I could take the situation because it was my life, my joy, and do something about it. In the end, I did something about it. I got a better job that ended up being more money, but that's not the point. The point is, when I got that pink slip, I said, what? I'm not good enough? I'm giving it all I got. I'm showing up and I'm working over. I'm a workaholic and blah, 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 and all this stuff, right? And I was taking it personally. And I was saying like, oh my God, I'm getting fired? What the heck? I gave myself a few minutes to do that. And then I went like, oh, no, Delphina, whose life is this? Are you going to be operating in the woe is me? Are you going to be operating in this is a blessing? If a door is going to kind of close and it's closing slow enough for you to do what your next step is, you just say, thank you, Jesus. Praise you. I'm ready for the next and I can step into it. And that's what I did. The point I'm making is that in every setback, there are always blessings. You just got to be able to find them.
And I've never heard of someone saying you got a job, we're going to move you, and then still give you a pink slip. Typically, they just move you. So that's weird. That sends a bad message. That's not good leadership. You don't do that to people because no matter how much you prep them, people still have emotions.
Yep.
And that's not leadership. So shame on them.
Yeah.
In closing, I've kept you a long time. I really appreciate your time. For those inspired by today's conversation, what steps should they take in the next week to begin their journey towards greater purpose, greater self-awareness, inner wisdom?
Yeah. So here's what I say. Identify a problem. Identify a challenge. Identify something that is really just eating at you. Identify it. Write it down. This is really eating at me. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what area of your life it is, write it down. 2, pray on it. Meditate on it. Do what it is to release it and let it go. You could journal on it. That's step 3. What is a potential answer? And allow yourself to begin to learn about what the potential answers. I will tell you, you have answers inside of you that you may be afraid of hearing. But if you will be strong enough, wise enough, and willing enough, you'll hear your answers. And if you're hearing your answers, that's probably a good thing. But then you just got to decide, am I willing to show up in faith or will I continue to operate in fear? Your choice. Joy, journey options, you choose.
I even saw that on a t-shirt today. Faith or fear?
Mm-hmm.
Your choice. Let's do some closing things here to pay the bills, I call it. Really, let me put this back up here. Let's see, a lot of technology here. Where we at? Come on out, come out. That's not it. Let's see, I'm using a different computer. So boom, here it goes. I got you. Where you at? Come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So, Dr. Avila, you didn't talk about your books because I think many of them you can journal. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have lots of journals. I have about 12 books, and I actually have a new one coming out, but I've got, I don't know, maybe 8 journals in there, and they have to do with thoughts, faith, wisdom, just different topics. And they start with a word, they have a thought, and then really you have to do the work. You have to journal and ask yourself. I just guide the process with my writing. But then I have some other books that are on, faith in general. I have one that's coming out that I'm so excited about. It's called Voices Across the Border. And the goal is to uplift the international teacher voice. We didn't talk about that, but I worked with international teachers, and we have a book that has probably about 12 international teachers and their stories, and they give so many nuggets of wisdom in that book. So that's going to be coming out February 28th. I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping that organizations and teachers will purchase those, and then I'll have the opportunity to teach about that, because that's when I'll really dive into some instructional practices and how to support those that we serve. And those are our educators if you're in a school institution. And I'm excited. Let's see what happens. I want it to be a bestseller. So buy it. It's only like $20 or something like that.
And where can I buy it? On Amazon?
On Amazon. Yeah. It launches February 28th, and it's a good way to support. There's some great nuggets in there. But ultimately, it's, an international teacher comes with a maleta, a suitcase. And we don't always think about that as, living in the States. We've got our place to live. We've got our form of transportation. And so they write about like coming to a whole foreign country and not knowing the transportation system, not knowing, like it could cost $3,000 to get an apartment because there's an application fee. And then they talk about just developing relationships with students, with their colleagues, with their leaders. And it's just an awesome book, and I'm excited about it and grateful that I've been honored to work alongside these beautiful people and learn.
So did you hear that, audience? She offers books. She offers journaling, journals. And you can go to her. Where can they go to your website? JOYoptions.org. Choose. That's what it is, all one word?
It's Journey
Options.
No. My website is JOYoptions.org.
Okay. I got tripped up. Very good. So you can go there and see everything she's doing, and she has the resources there to help you move forward, to take that step into starting that agency piece, that inner wisdom piece. A lot of great nuggets tonight, and hopefully you wrote many of them or all of them down to get started. My future guest coming up next week. I'm back at it on Tuesday, I believe, February 25th. The topic is You Are a Gift, How Influence is in You. So Daryl Stern from Stern Inbound Marketing will be with me. I actually utilized him for 3 months to help me with marketing for my brand. Dr. Toyin, her topic is another great topic of leadership, but parent leadership this time. She does a lot of research and studying on how to be a better parent because she's the executive director of Great Hearts Christos in Chandler, Arizona. It's a charter school system. Moving on, we have Dr. Bobby Farmar. He's a university professor for the University of Virginia, the Darden School of Business. I met with him twice at a couple of different functions. He and I hit it off and started networking, and I asked him to come on. And we're just going to do what's called the Leaders Lounge, raw talk on real leadership. So we're going to have a blast with that. And I have some more guests coming, but I'm just going to feature these 3 for right now. My newest book is coming out. I got some tough news today. It's not until late April, but it's coming. So that's great news because literally I get it from China because the quality is better and it's less expensive, but it takes a while. So it's called Sucked, 10 Micromoves to elevate you from suck to significance. And I really get into suck meaning you're not good at something at first. Significance meaning you're really good at it, you have success. Now you're helping others. That's what significant means in my books. From suck, not knowing, to significance, to helping others. So you can pre-order now by scanning that QR code. Now, this is a little tool to help you get started. And I feature this after every session. And it's called the Courage Ladder. And on the top where it says getting started, you can put an inner wisdom goal. Whatever your inner wisdom. So Dr. Avila, what would be an inner wisdom goal for someone starting out?
How do I hear myself?
How do you hear yourself? You can put right on top where it says getting started. How do I hear myself? Then go all the way to the bottom, action, all the way to the bottom. What would be one action that they can start out with? How do they hear themselves?
The easy one, close your eyes and listen.
Number two, now what would be going up this ladder here? What would be a second action?
A second action would be write down what you hear.
Okay, so we've given you a starter courage ladder. Hearing yourself. What was the first one again?
The first one is close your eyes and listen.
First action steps.
Close your eyes. So you're closing your eyes because you're shutting down a lot that's happening. So
getting rid of the noise.
Yes. So you're closing your eyes and you're listening. If you took a moment right now and you just closed your eyes, you would already be able to hear thoughts in your mind. And remember, you started, how do I hear myself? That was your question. Step number one, close your eyes, listen. Step number two, write down what you hear. Step number three, learn to discern between the noise and the truth.
And then we'll let you fill into step number 4 for yourself.
Yes.
She gave you 3 starter steps. She gave you a goal and then 3 action steps. So this again is called the Courage Ladder, and it just gets you started. Like Nike, just do it, jump in and do it. And within 24 hours, get that beep moving. All right, so what's that one big thing? That one big thing, you got to do something, folks. We're asking you to do something. We're pushing you off your comfort couch, and you're flying as you're building your wings, as you're falling down that cliff, but you can do it. One big thing, is it the Courage Ladder? Is it something else? But do one thing to get yourself moving right away. And I do not share this with the public. This is a QR code I have a few, 3 actually, Your Leadership Suck courses. They're 3 5-minute courses each. So one is 5 minutes, the other one's 5 minutes, the other one's 5 minutes that you could really get into and do right away. These aren't things that you have to do 2 hours worth of homework or anything like that. I teach you some skills and I ask you right away to go out there and utilize them within 24 hours. And it's just scanning that, and there's 3 courses there. In my consulting, I always do a lot of leadership coaching, organizational training, inspirational speaking. I'm hungry. I want to get out there more. I'm out there a lot now, but I want to be out there. So look me up, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second here. You can contact me on LinkedIn, Dr. Anthony J. Perkins. Here's my email. Here's my website. You can contact me through my website. It has my services and recommendations from things I did in the past. And some other ways, my YouTube channel, Dr. Anthony J. Perkins, Instagram, @PerkUp67, Facebook, Anthony J. Perkins. And I think I've exhausted everything there. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Avila. And
I want to recommend that you get, I don't have your book with me. It's right on my nightstand. Do you have it right there? What it's called? It is a great book.
Eye Against Eye.
Is it, what is it?
eye against eye, getting out of your own
Yes,
way to
I against
succeed.
that. Yes. There are so many nuggets of things that you can put into play that are actionable steps. Easy actionable steps.
Easy,
So if you
easy.
haven't gotten that book, get the book. It's an easy read. You've got places to put your own notes. When you talk about that courage ladder, he's literally, he doesn't call it a courage ladder, but he's created activities within there. And I read that book. It is on my nightstand, and I pull it out when I say, okay, where am I at? Am I being a little bratty and I don't want to do my goal? And I just read your words again.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I try to make things simple but effective. That's my whole goal in life. I don't want you to read a book and it's too complex, it's over your head, and it's hard because all you're going to do is throw the book away and keep moving on in life. So thank you for that. Is there an email or somewhere where people, if they have any further questions for services, for wisdom, what's an email they can get in contact with you?
You know, if they go to the joyoptions.org, we have a contact form and I get them. It goes
Okay,
straight to my email. So
awesome.
I know, I need help because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to have lunch.
Well, thank you, Dr. Avila. If you can stay on for a quick debrief. Thank you, audience, so much for attending tonight. I will be back next week on a Tuesday, and we'll get back into it, giving you some more learning nuggets. Everyone, what did my boy Josh Allen say? Oh, man, I had it in my head, and I want to use it as a closure. Oh, man, I'm getting old, and I'm getting forgetful. So be good, do good, God bless, go Bills. Everyone, have a great night. See you soon.
Take care. Blessings.